Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. And today we will be going over the 48 laws of power. Let's get straight into it.
There are two kinds of people in this world: those who are moved like chess pieces, and those who move them. History has never once rewarded innocence. Power is not something you are handed, it is taken, it is engineered, it is built quietly, through strategy, through human psychology, and sometimes through methods that make comfortable people deeply uncomfortable. Robert Greene's book, The 48 Laws of Power, is one of the most controversial books ever written. Libraries have debated banning it. Executives have devoured it in secret. Inmates in American prisons have studied it more than almost any other book on earth. Why?
I wonder what was so interesting about the book and why that they wanted to ban the book. Maybe is it because the book held a lot of knowledge, probably ancient knowledge about the universe that the government or people didn't want to get out, maybe?
Because it does not preach. It does not moralize. It simply tells you how the world actually operates, underneath the polite surface of things.
Mm,
Today we are going through every single one of the 48 laws. All of them. Not skimmed, not summarized into neat little motivational quotes, but actually decoded, with real historical examples that show you why these laws work. If you stay until the end, you will understand human nature at a level most people never reach in a lifetime. And more importantly, you will never be the pawn again. Let us begin in 17th century France, at the most spectacular party in history. Nicolas Fouquet, the finance minister to King Louis XIV, wanted to impress his king, so he threw a party at his personal chateau. Fireworks, fine food, thousands of guests. The most magnificent event France.
okay. Now, thousands of guests is wild. But I wonder, how much do y'all think that it costed him to throw this party back then? Like, did it cost a lot or was it just free? You know?
Had ever seen. He genuinely believed this display of wealth and taste would earn him favor. The next morning, Louis XIV had him arrested. Fouquet spent the rest of his life in a prison cell. Law 1. Never outshine the master. The people above you, your boss, your patron, your investor, must always feel superior. Show your talent, absolutely.
Dang, that's crazy. So it's like, even if people like you more than the other person, you can't be above your king because then your king would think that you're doing something wrong or going against him. And that's how their culture was back then. I couldn't live with that's wild.
But the moment they begin to feel overshadowed, insecure, or threatened, you become a liability. Make them feel brilliant, and you will be protected. Make them feel small, and you will be removed. This is not pessimism.
So basically, it's like, if you're bigger than them, they take you out. If you're not bigger than them and you suck up to them like a loser, they take you in.
This is how power structures have worked throughout all of recorded history. The rest of the foundational laws build on this core insight. Law 2 tells you to be cautious about trusting friends too deeply. Friendship is layered with emotion, jealousy, and assumptions. A former enemy whom you forgive will often work twice as hard to prove their loyalty, because they have something to prove. Your closest friend assumes you owe them everything. Law 3 is
Right.
about
Y'all ever heard that saying, keep your friends close but keep your enemies closer or something like that? I think people should start doing that.
concealing your intentions. Otto von
I really never got that saying though. Why would I want to keep my enemies closer and not, well, because your friends could be your enemies at the same time, but who would want to think like that?
Bismarck built modern Germany not through declarations, but through strategic opacity. When people cannot read your next move, they cannot block it. Law 4 says to say less than necessary. Louis XIV.
I can explain this law. Basically, this law means put more action in, do more action than saying. You know, put the work in and just instead of being like, oh, I'm gonna do this. Don't be like, I'm gonna do this and then never do it. You actually have to show the action.
Terrified his courtiers not with threats, but with silence. Words reveal you. Silence forces others to guess. And guessing makes people anxious. And anxious people make mistakes. Law 5 treats your reputation as your most valuable asset. It can take decades to build, and one careless moment to destroy. Protect it with the same ferocity you would protect your life. Law 6 insists on commanding attention. Thomas Edison understood something Nikola Tesla did not. Genius alone is invisible. The person who captures public imagination wins, even if they are not the most.
Wait, Thomas Edison, wasn't Nikola Tesla trying to create free energy for the whole world and they stopped him from doing that? Well, what did Thomas Edison understand? I thought it was Nikola Tesla from the start. What are we talking about?
Most technically gifted in the room. Tesla may have been the better scientist. Edison became a legend.
Okay.
Law 7 is pragmatic and unsentimental. Let others do the work, but ensure the credit is yours.
Mm,
Law 8 says, do not go to people, make people come to you. When you control the location, the terms, and the pace of any interaction, you control the outcome. Law 9 is perhaps the cleanest of the early laws.
it's law 9.
Win through your actions, not your arguments.
That's what I'm saying right there. That's why I say actions are bigger than words. Win through your actions and not your arguments. If you show more, people can be like, you're not doing this, and be like, you said you was gonna do this, but you never did it because you're showing actions. So now people don't have anything to say because you're actually putting in that work. Come on now.
Debate exhausts people. Results silence them. For 10 years, the Greek army could not breach the walls of Troy. Then they stopped trying. They built a massive wooden horse, left it on the beach as a gift, and sailed away as if defeated. The Trojans celebrated their victory, dragged the horse inside the gates, and that night, soldiers hidden inside it opened the city from within. Law 12.
It's crazy.
Use selective honesty to disarm your target. One genuine act of openness or generosity can dissolve years of suspicion.
Yeah.
It is not manipulation.
Just one little gift, it can make somebody whole mindset think different. Be like, oh, I thought you were against me the whole time. Even though that somebody really is, the gift will be the thing that throws it off.
In the crude sense. It is understanding that people lower their guard when they feel they have received something real.
Yeah.
The
Because
Trojan
people
horse was
value materialistic things more than they actual value other things. So they close their third eye for something that's physical.
not just a military strategy, it was a psychological one. Law 15 follows a harder principle: crush your enemy completely. When Rome finally defeated Carthage, their great rival, they did not simply claim victory. They burned the city to the ground, salted the earth, and erased Carthage from the
Yo,
map.
they must not been playing.
Brutal, yes, but the lesson is clear. A wounded enemy does not forget.
Nope.
Mercy
They come
left
back
unearned
years later.
becomes a future threat. The remaining laws of this chapter form a protective intelligence. Law 10 warns you away from the chronically miserable. Suffering, bitterness, and bad luck are contagious in social ecosystems.
Wow.
People who are
What they mean by contagious is like negative energy and the low vibration. If your vibration is low and you go around people with high vibration, you can bring their vibration down.
perpetually unfortunate often unconsciously drag others down with them. Law 11 builds your strategic security.
Yeah.
Make others depend on you. When people need you, they protect you. Law 13 says, when you need a favor, appeal to someone's interests,
Mm.
not their compassion. People respond to what benefits them.
So basically, you give to get. That's what we're learning right here. You give to get. All right. It's like what do we would call this? It's like almost like a business thing. I
Far
forgot what
more
the name was
reliably
for it.
than they respond to your need. Law 14 advises you to act like a friend while thinking like an intelligence officer.
Mm.
The most valuable information is gathered through casual conversation, not interrogation. Law 16 is one of the most powerful. Create value through absence. When you are always available, always present, always responsive,
Yeah.
you become ordinary. Strategic withdrawal makes people remember why they value you. Law 17 says stay unpredictable. The moment someone can model your behavior, they can outmaneuver you.
Never let them know your next
Consistency
move.
is a form of vulnerability. Law 18 cautions against isolation. Building walls around yourself might feel safe, but it cuts you off from information, alignment,
Yeah. Cuts you off because you have too many people in your circle, and then therefore that means if you feel like you're being snaked out, or you feel like somebody is going against you, you won't know who going against you because there's too many people in your circle. All the time, it could be everybody that's going against you.
alliances, and opportunities. Power lives in connection, not in fortresses. Law 19 is a warning rooted in common sense. Know who you are dealing with
Right?
before you engage.
Choose your battles
Stalin's political
wisely.
opponents did not merely lose their careers, they disappeared. Picking the wrong battle against the wrong person is not bravery, it is waste. Charles Manson
Right?
never
It's like
personally
suicide.
committed the murders his followers carried out. He never needed to. He had done something far more powerful. He had replaced the logic in people's heads with a story. He gave them identity. He
Mm.
gave them belongings. He gave them a mission. He made himself the center of their emotional universe. And that is exactly why Law 27 is perhaps the most chilling in the entire book. Play on people's need to believe, and you can create a following that will do almost anything. Human beings are not primarily rational. We are primarily emotional, and we use reason to justify what we already feel.
Yeah.
The person who understands this and directs it ethically becomes a leader.
Yeah.
The person who understands this without conscience becomes something far more dangerous. The surrounding laws in this chapter complete a portrait of the master strategist.
Y'all know what it's like? It's almost like the hell of everything, or the God or devil thing. It's like, ooh, if you don't believe in God, or if you don't believe in Jesus or worship, you'll go to hell. It's almost like that. So it's basically like, choose a side, nigga. You gonna be on the bad side, or you gonna be on the good side? What side you gonna choose? But that's the thing. Stop trying to choose a side instead of just find your own side. Create the side for other people to choose. That's it right there. Create the side for other people to choose. Don't try to choose a side, because the moment you try to choose a side, that's where things go wrong, and now you're stuck with depending on somebody else for your problems when you could have been out this situation already by having other people depend on you.
Law 20 says, never fully commit to any single side in a conflict. Stay neutral where you can. Let others fight, while you position yourself as the indispensable third party.
No one was ready for what just happened. Dance 2.0 just dropped, and it keeps your character consistent. Before this,
Law 21 is one of the most counterintuitive. Play dumb. When people believe they are the smartest in the room, they relax and reveal themselves. Intelligence, worn visibly, makes people defensive. Law 22 says that when you are genuinely outmatched, Surrender strategically. You buy time. You lower the opponent's
Yeah,
guard. And
yeah. Waste your time. Because when you tend to waste time, people tend to forget about things. But if you're doing something, don't play that game. Create a plan, create a map, and create a way to get away from that person. Basically, create space. That's all about space. Your energy field.
you live to rebuild. Law 23 demands concentration of force. In business, in relationships, in creative work, scattered effort produces scattered results.
Yeah,
Focus is
on one
power.
thing.
Law 24 is about playing the social game with elegance. Flattery, handled clumsily, is obvious and insulting. Handled with grace, it is disarming. Law 25 is personal and profound. Recreate yourself. Do not let your background, your upbringing, or other people's expectations write your identity. Choose who you are becoming.
Right. Choose your path. Don't let your past tell you who you are. Don't let anyone go back in your past, bring up the things that you did in your past to stop you from going where you want to be. Basically, saying you control your life, in which are the terms you do control your own life.
And build that person deliberately. Law 26 is cold but practical. Keep your hands clean. When difficult or controversial things must be done, ensure
Yeah, basically, don't do dirt or don't do bad things, cause that's how you build your name up. You don't wanna. I mean, there are other ways you can build your name up, but you don't want to build your name up by doing dumb things because you won't get anywhere. You cut your access off for a job. It's like if someone becomes a felon, they out here drilling and stuff, doing whatever. Once you become a felon, now you can't get a job, you can't do anything. Your credit is messed up. You're not gonna be able to get a home for your family, no car, no nothing.
someone else is formally responsible. History
It's almost like why they say protect your last name. Don't let anyone put smut up on your name, your last name, whatever.
judges those whose names are on the deed. Law 28 says, enter every venture with boldness. Hesitation signals weakness. People feel confidence before they analyze competence. Law 29 demands that you plan to the very end. Most people plan for their next move. The strategist plans for the final outcome and works backwards.
Yeah, basically saying you already have to have the last move planned. You just gotta be ready for it, the action.
Law 30 is about the aesthetics of achievement. Make success look effortless. When people see you struggle, they see your limitations. When success looks natural, it looks inevitable.
Yeah.
When J. Edgar Hoover wanted to dismantle Al Capone's criminal empire, he did not attempt to arrest every gangster in Chicago. He
Mm,
focused entirely on one man.
yeah. Because because if the little person messes up, then it messes up the whole business plan. Everything falls from one person. You can get a big fish by catching the little fish because the little fish gonna be scared because the little fish is gonna be like, wait, since the big fish has more power and he's bigger than me, I'm about to get him out so I can try to get power myself and become bigger than the big fish. Because I don't want the big fish to be bigger than me, right? You want to be the big fish. So the little fish is gonna mess everything up, become a sellout, and now look.
Get Capone, and the entire structure collapses. Law 42. Strike the shepherd, and the sheep will scatter. Every organization, every movement, every gang derives its power from a central node. Remove that node, and what remains is directionless. This is not merely a principle of war. It is a principle of organizational psychology, and understanding it protects you as much as it arms you. The laws of this chapter are about narrative control, how power is maintained not just through force, but through perception.
This may be the last ad you ever see. Because with the free ad block extension from Capital One Shopping,
Law 31 says give people options, but only options you have designed.
Mm,
The illusion of choice is one of the most powerful control mechanisms in existence.
yeah,
Law 32 says to appeal to people's fantasies. Reality is often disappointing. The person who can paint a compelling vision of what could be holds enormous influence over people who are dissatisfied with what is. Law 33 says, find every person's weak point, their particular fear or particular desire. Everyone has one. It is the lever that, when moved, moves everything else.
yeah. But here's the thing: if you learn how to get over that fear, people won't be able to find that fear and be able to take you down. You have to be able to find that fear in other people, take them down, and at the same time protect what you're trying to protect without people taking you down and letting them know your fear. And if you don't want them to know your fear, like and subscribe and stay tuned for more.
Law 34 is essentially this:
Just keep
behave
going.
like someone worthy of respect, and you will receive it. The world takes you largely at your own estimation. Law 35 says, learn to wait. Timing
Yeah.
transforms.
Patience is key, everybody. Remember that. Patience is key. If you don't have patience, you don't have nothing. Because you don't want to rush into death. Rushing all that, rushing that people that be out here doing, it rushes into death. Time. Everything takes time. Yeah, we know people don't wait. Yeah, yeah.
The same action from disaster to triumph. Impatience is one of the most reliable paths to failure. Law 36 is elegant in its simplicity. What you cannot have, ignore.
Right.
Des-
It's almost like a woman. If you want this female, well, y'all know how it goes. You chasing that girl too much, you ain't gonna get her. But the moment you stop and you go focus on another girl, watch what happens. That the girl that you once wanted pops up back in your life. Now she wants you. Now she likes you. Like, no, before you didn't want me. Now you want me. What is it? It's because I'm doing better. Because I have money. Huh? Because I got a good job. I got a good house. Why do you want me now? What changed? And if this happened to you, if this ever happens to you, then that means you're on the right path and you're doing good and you need to keep going. Like my father, he once told me this saying: if you don't have haters, you're not doing something isn't right. You're not doing something right in your life. If you don't have no haters. But if you have haters, then you're doing good. You're doing awesome, you're doing great, and you're doing amazing, and you need to keep going. Stay focused and don't stop. And that's the key.
Desperation makes you controllable. Indifference makes you powerful. Law 37 says, create spectacles. Human attention is won through the visual and the dramatic.
Yeah, because everybody always want to see some intention. Everybody always wants to see drama. It's almost like in the black community. In the black community, there's nothing but arguing, bickering, and fighting. That's how they win people over.
Not through logic and footnotes. Law 38 advises you to think independently, but behave conventionally enough to avoid becoming a target. Being visibly different invites attack.
Yeah,
Save your individuality for what matters.
it almost helps people
Law
shut people
39
up.
says, stir the waters when it serves you.
Yup, forget your
An angry
feelings.
opponent
Just
is a
go.
sloppy opponent. Provoke carefully and let their reaction.
Yeah, that's what I say. Men, always control your men. Control your emotions. That's the number one key. Control your emotions. If you don't have control over your emotions, then you have control over nothing. If you let little things get to you, then you will let other little things, even worse things, kill you. If you know how to stop the little things, then therefore you are able to stop the big things from bothering you. And what is that called? Controlling your emotions.
Become their undoing. Law 40 says, never trust the free lunch. Everything that appears to cost nothing has a hidden price,
Yeah.
an obligation.
Not y'all ever heard that saying? Not good money. Well, not all money is good money. I don't know if y'all ever heard that.
In dependency, or in your own self-respect. Law 41 warns against stepping into a great person's shadow. If you follow a legend in the same role, in the same institution, you will always be compared unfavorably.
Yeah.
Build your own territory. Bruce Lee once said something that sounds simple until you really sit with it. Be like water. Water has no fixed form.
Mm.
Pour it into a cup and it becomes the cup.
Mm.
Freeze it and it becomes a weapon. Release it and it becomes a force that erodes mountains.
Mm.
You cannot hold it. You cannot cut it. You cannot predict it.
Water. So
Design.
therefore, saying you have to flow like water, flow through life just like water, and flow with other care. But at the same time, be mindful of what you're doing and who you're doing things to.
Did you know there's a new AI tool that allows you to create AI generated YouTube thumbnails by just pasting a YouTube?
Law 48. Assume formlessness. The person who commits rigidly to one strategy, one identity, one method becomes predictable. And predictable things can be anticipated, countered, and destroyed. The world does not stop changing because you have decided on a plan.
Yeah.
The strategist must be fluid, adaptive, and impossible to pin down. The final laws sharpen this endgame. Law 43 says,
So almost like stay consistent in the things that you're doing, but at the same time be mindful of what you're doing and how you're doing it.
do not simply rule through fear. Fear produces compliance, but generates resentment. Win people's minds and hearts, and you generate loyalty that persists
Yeah.
even when you are not watching. Law 44 is the mirror effect, reflecting people on themselves. Do what they do. It unsettles them, confuses their aggression, and often forces them to confront the absurdity of their own behavior. Law 45 says, advocate for change gradually. Radical disruption frightens people, even when it would benefit them. Move incrementally, and the transformation becomes invisible until it is irreversible. Law 46 says, do not project perfection.
Yeah.
People are drawn to
Yeah. So basically saying don't always try to be perfect because things aren't perfect. Alright? Don't try to be perfect. Be perfect because you are perfect. Trying to be perfect is what brings things down. If you stop focused on trying to be perfect and just be perfect, you'll win. Forget trying, just do it. Like Nike, just do it. Just go out there and do it. Being perfect is just doing instead of trying. Don't try, just do.
excellence, but threatened by flawlessness. A person who seems too perfect becomes a target for envy,
Yeah, because
and
then
envy
people will
left
want to take you down because they think that you're greater than them. And therefore, that is what we call the ego. You let the ego get in the way, that's where things start to fall.
to fester turns friends into quiet enemies. Law 47 says, know when to stop. Victory has a natural conclusion. The leaders who have destroyed their own legacies throughout history are
Yeah.
rarely the ones who failed to win. They are the ones who could not stop after winning. Success makes people reckless.
Uh-huh.
Discipline means knowing when the game is over.
Yeah. You have to know when to
These
stop.
48 laws are not a moral system. They do not tell you what is right or wrong. What they tell you is how power actually functions. In offices, in families,
Yeah.
in governments, in relationships, in history, in the street. Whether you choose to use any of these laws actively is entirely your decision,
Right.
but not knowing them has its own cost. The world is full of people who understand these dynamics perfectly well.
Yeah.
If you don't, You are not standing outside the game. You are simply losing it without realizing you were ever a player.
Wow. And those are the 48 laws of the universe, people. And if you want to see more inspiring videos like this, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that bell, turn on that post notification bell. And I will see you folks later.